One of the first wine growing areas in South Africa I got to know and subsequently fell in love with was Franschhoek. The beauty of the valley, the cool restaurants and fantastic wine. There was a charm about it that I've always been enamored with, and that extended when I came out to this particular estate. This is Haut Espoir, owned by Anne Armstrong, and Anne's son Rob was a very good friend of mine at UCT, the University of Cape Town. He was this ferocious hockey goalkeeper. He didn't save many goals but put a lot of centre forwards in hospital, and when you meet Big Rob in a moment you'll see exactly why he did that. And I've been coming out here now for probably 15 years or so, trying wine, having braais and enjoying the relaxed pace of life that is Franschhoek. A few weeks ago, Rob phoned me with a suggestion. Harvest time, they had some grapes going. Had I ever made my own wine? And if not, would I like to? Now, of course I'd like to. I think any of us who drink wine, who have an interest in the industry, would like to make some wine. So I've come down to join Rob, his wife Erica, his mum Anne here today. We've got some Cabernet Sauvignon that's been harvested for me this morning. We're going to start the process, and in about 2-3 years time, the very first Dan nickel wine, I'll need to think of a name and a label, will be out, and I'll have my own very special piece of Franschhoek from here at Haut Espoir, home of the Armstrong family. Now, I'm not the smallest person in the world, but whenever I stand next to my good friend here, I feel like a bit of a midget. There's a reason Big Rob is called Big Rob. In fact, it was only, I think it was only 3 years into university when I discovered you actually had a surname. It's always been Big Rob, big man, big smile, big heart, and you've always been most welcoming to what is your really special corner of Franschhoek here.
Yeah, welcome. It's a boer hook, we like to call it. Very wet, lovely soils for vineyards. It's a great place to call home.
It's a place that you're very passionate about, and it's a place that you very kindly invited me to on a number of occasions, and so I've joined you here, and we can just run through what I'm going to be doing today at your invitation is effectively making some wine.
Yeah, it can be as complicated or as easy as you want to make it. We provide the perfect conditions for fermenting some grapes for you. So we picked some cab this morning and we'll process it into some juice, which will hopefully ferment under your tutelage.
Before we go and meet Marozanne and find out what she needs me to do and how she's going to oversee me, let's have a taste of this. So this is the 2017 Semillon.
2017 Semillon. I think Franschhoek makes ideal Semillons. It's a perfect place for this grape. Cheers, Dan.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
To our vintage.
Oh, that's lovely.
Delicious.
It's crisp, it's fresh. What I also love about it though is you can kind of see where it's heading, and you know that 2, 3, 4 years down the line it'll be a different wine, but I think even better than it already is, and so far it's really nice.
So every now and again one of those old bottles finds its way up to your cellar. I managed to crack open a 2005 last week, which maybe we can have a look in the cellar for. Very special how this wine ages over the years. It just gets better and better and better.
Well, hopefully they'll be saying the same things about the Maiden Dan Nickel Reserve when it comes out. It's probably not going to be a huge amount to me. The combination of the Armstrong grapes with Marozanne the winemaker, they're going to be the key to getting my very first barrel of wine up and running, and probably only released in 2 or 3 years time. But if it's anything close to as good as a Semillon, I'll be more than happy. So might need to finish this off, and then I think over to the cellar and get the winemaking going.
Good call. Cheers.
As far as I'm concerned, this is a golden time for South African wine. We've got such exciting wine in such different areas of the winemaking world, and some really good quality young winemakers, as well as the established ones, coming together for an extraordinary collection of one of South Africa's greatest claims to fame, its wine. But not far behind, and some might suggest right up there, is the quality of food. Whether it's some of the more established names who've got big name restaurants, to guys who are making stuff that's a little left of centre and slightly off the charts, the food landscape in South Africa has never been more diverse, it's never been more exciting, and it's never been as good as it is now. And that is thanks to a whole pile of fantastic chefs, including the gentleman next to me here, who looks like he might be a full-time tattoo artist who spends his weekends running a biker gang, but is in fact one of the finest chefs in South Africa. And Chris Erasmus, is a really exciting time, because together with the 300 odd kilograms of granite next to you in Big Rob Armstrong from Haut Espoir, the two of you have come up with what sounds like a really cool concept in a beautiful part of the world.
I don't think it was rocket science. I mean, we've been talking about this now for the last 3, 4, 5 years, and it's just coming together. As you can see now, I mean, the roof's going up. The barbecue, if you can hear it behind you, it's sizzling. So yeah, it's going to be open fire cooking, just doing honest food out of the field around us. It's a biodynamic farm, so it's easy for me to forage here, and that's something we're going to focus on. And the idea when you come here is kick your shoes off and be one with what's happening here.
Watch the space. We're hoping by winter time of 2019 to be full up and running. So, market dry.
Market dry.
And when I do come down, which I will, and I'm really excited about this, Chris, the menu, what can I look forward to? Do you have any idea yet?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going into, we picked probably about 20 kilograms of porcini this morning. So we're going into mushroom season, so there'll be lots of mushroom, lots of venison, lots of wild. I don't like to use too much farmed animals. We try and move away from that. So what we'll have on the menu is some South African classics. You'll get some skolpytjies, cold fat liver, roasting cold fat. We'll have lots of stuff out of the barbecue. So it'll be everything from finger foods, small snacks, to something for the bigger guys. There'll be meat, but then also homegrown vegetables, salads, wild greens. We'll have some really good vegetarian and vegan dishes, but then also for the meat eaters there'll be plenty. But yes, lots of fire, lots of smoke.
It's what I like to think of as smug food, because it's so good, but you feel really good about eating it, and the same applies to the wine as well. So I can't wait. It's a really exciting development. You and I are recent acquaintances. Big Rob and I go back 20 odd years and more. It's lovely to see you come together. It's great to see two friends with such shared philosophies, be able to marry them in this way. And at the risk of sticking my neck out, I think this little room behind us might become one of the hottest food destinations in the country very, very quickly. So Veenhuis, have I got that right?
Veenbos.
Veenbos, there we go, Veenbos. Don't go to Veenhuis, go to Veenbos. It's out here at Haut Espoir, and Armstrong and her family have got a wonderful spot that's about to get even better between Rob Armstrong and Chris Erasmus. This is the one for your diary, winter 2019. So if Big Rob Armstrong is the face and in no small measure the consumption of the wine here at Haut Espoir, then Marozanne Bieldt is the magic behind it. You've been here for 3-4 years now?
Yes, 2016 was my first vintage.
And how did your wine journey start? Where did you begin just getting interested in wine?
I think, well, probably from a small age, seeing my parents and my family enjoy wine. And then I studied at Elsenburg for 3 years, and then my first job was at Marozanne. So just on the other side of Franschhoek. And then after that, I had a small stint in Stellenbosch and then came back to work with Rob.
There'll be some people, I think quite understandably, who've never been involved, never seen this process, all think, well, we'll start today and at the end of today we'll have a bottle of the cork in, we can drink it. That's obviously not the case. But what part of the process starts today, and what has happened up until today to get us to where we are?
So we've monitored the block of grapes throughout, well, we started already sort of in December, January, taking sugars, tasting through the block and making sure it's at optimal quality when we pick. So that was done beforehand. It's in the dry or in the cold room now, just cooling down a bit more. So we're going to de-stem it, crush it into bins, and then we're going to put it in the cold store, so to cold soak for about 2 days. So every day we'll just mix it through, and during that cold soaking period, the juice will obviously take some color and tannin and some flavor from the skins, and then after 2 days I'll add the yeast. And then from there on, it's just a daily mixing.
So that would be the process, the punch downs as they used to do if you're doing it old school.
Yes, yeah, that's what we do because we're fermenting in bins. And yeah, we just use a stainless steel pole and then mix it that way. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to have many journeys to Haut Espoir in time to come, but just to recap for today, the grapes are already picked, so I don't need to go out and pick a whole bunch of grapes on my own, which is very good
we
news.
picked it early in the morning, that they're nice and cool.
Excellent. So it's just basically into the machine, have it de-stemmed, and into the bin for that 2-day cold soak.
Yes, that's it.
There we go. It's not actually that complicated. If a winemaker tells you their job is difficult, it's clearly not. It's very easy stuff. So I'm inside here. I'd actually stay here quite happily because it looks like some wonderful wine. But I'm going to go out. We'll get the machines going. We'll get the grapes de-stemmed into that bin. And stage one proper of Dan's internationally acclaimed and award-winning John Platter signature wine will take its first steps. So we're now getting into the real action. The talking's done. The forklift truck, which I'd love to be driving, but I've been banned, is going to be picking up these grapes, these ones right in front of us, and they'll go into that machine over there. They'll be destemmed, destalked. I'll help with that process. Out come the grapes on the other side into the cold soak, and Dan's wine has begun its journey. Technical part of the process. I'm going to remove all the extra leaves, all the extra stalks. This is going to make the difference. This is going to have me on the front cover of John Platter in 3 years' time. So as you can see, I'm doing this all on my own. Marozanne's not helping me at all. I think she's a little bit nervous that I might end up being a better winemaker than she is. There's a real blue-collar feel to this. It's just getting stuck in, getting your hands a bit dirty, and being a real part of the process, which is exactly what I want. So all of that hard work, all the grapes came down through the machine, through the pipe into here. They're now cold soaking. Now it's not completely leaf and stem free. You can see a few that Marozanne missed on her side. I got all the ones on my side, but she's learning. She'll get there. It's early days. So now it's going to soak for a couple of days and then starts that gradual journey into Cabernet Sauvignon magnificence. And so my first day as a semi-professional winemaker comes to an end. It's been a huge amount of fun. I've cleaned myself up a bit. There's still plenty of grape juice on me. Honest opinion here, Marozanne, you watched me. Have I got a future as a winemaker just based on today?
I definitely think so. I would hire you as my assistant. Yeah, definitely.
I'm up in Johannesburg. You're down here in Franschhoek. When should I come down next? What's the next big thing that you need me for to help you through this process?
I would say after malolactic fermentation, we will rack it out of barrel, clean it up, put some sulfur on and put it back. So that will be the first tasting. Yeah.
So what's that, about 3 months?
3 months, yeah.
Alright, I shall put that in the diary. And I'm really looking forward to it. I have no aspirations, don't worry, your job's safe. I'm not coming to be the new winemaker at Haut Espoir. But what I'm going to do is come down and I almost feel like a dad again. I'm overlooking my new offspring and I'm really excited. I'm not sure I'll quite get to this level, but I'm really excited about where it's going to go, where that journey is. So, big Rob, thank you, Marozanne, thank you very much indeed. This is the start of my winemaking journey. Today is the very first day. As the months unfold, keep an eye on Dan Really Likes Wine. We'll see how the wine develops. I'll be back down here at Haut Espoir on a fairly regular basis. And who knows, in a few years' time, maybe, just maybe, the Dan Nicol Private Reserve will be the hottest Cabernet Sauvignon property in the wine world. Until then, a big thank you to Anne Armstrong and her incredible, incredible family. And if you get a chance, drop in down here to Haut Espoir. There's a brand new restaurant opening very soon with the head of the local biker gang. There's some wonderful wine to drink, and it is in as beautiful a winemaking part of the world as there is. Cheers.
Cheers.